Signs your avoidant partner is faithful. How avoidants show loyalty and love. Faithfulness is a word that carries weight. We often think of it in terms of romantic movies, grand gestures, endless affection, constant reassurance. But when it comes to avoidant partners, faithfulness takes on a very different form. It doesn't show up in the ways you might expect, and if you don't know what to look for, you could miss it entirely. If you're with someone who has avoidant attachment traits, you already know the confusion it can bring. One day they're present, the next they seem distant. They don't flood your phone with texts or constantly tell you how much you mean to them. Sometimes their coolness may even leave you questioning whether they care at all. But here's the truth most people don't understand. Avoidants often express their loyalty in quiet, subtle, but incredibly consistent ways. Their version of faithfulness doesn't look like fireworks. It looks like steadiness, trust, and small but meaningful actions. Commitment for an avoidant is deliberate, not impulsive. Avoidants value independence more than almost anything else. Their fear of being trapped or losing themselves often drives their behavior. Because of that, they don't take commitment lightly. When they choose a partner, it's rarely out of impulse or infatuation. It's a slow, deliberate process of trust building, and here's what makes that powerful. Once an avoidant commits, it's intentional. They don't give their emotional energy away easily, so if they've chosen you, it's because you've earned a place very few people ever reach. Unlike those who jump quickly from one relationship to another, avoidants guard their connections closely. Faithfulness for them is the natural result of that guardedness. Faithfulness looks like consistency. One of the clearest signs of an avoidant's loyalty isn't passion, it's reliability. They may not always say the words you long to hear, but they show up. If they promise to meet you at 7, they'll be there. If they say they'll help you with something, they'll quietly follow through. Their steadiness is their love language. For an avoidant, actions will always speak louder than words. This kind of consistency is deeply significant because it shows that despite their struggles with emotional intimacy, they want you to feel safe and cared for in practical ways. Vulnerability is sacred ground. Perhaps the most profound sign of avoidant faithfulness is vulnerability. Avoidants are masters at protecting themselves. They build walls, avoid unnecessary intimacy, and often appear emotionally untouchable. So when they let you in, when they share their fears, their memories, or their struggles, it isn't casual. It's sacred. It means you've become their safe place, the one person they trust enough to reveal what they normally keep hidden. This kind of openness doesn't happen with everyone. If your avoidant partner is confiding in you, take it as a sign of deep loyalty. They're showing you the part of themselves they rarely show to anyone else. Distance does not equal betrayal. Avoidants are often misunderstood. Their need for space gets mistaken for disinterest, or worse, for disloyalty. But here's the key. Distance is their way of maintaining emotional balance, not a signal that they're seeking someone else. In fact, avoidants are usually faithful because they value peace and stability. They don't thrive on chaos or constant validation from multiple people. Unlike those who might cheat or seek attention outside the relationship, avoidants withdraw inward when they're overwhelmed. Retreat is their coping mechanism, not betrayal. So if your avoidant partner needs space but consistently returns, that's not a sign they're drifting away. It's a sign they're loyal to the bond, even while managing their own fears. Boundaries are loyalty in disguise. Pay attention to how your avoidant partner handles boundaries. A faithful avoidant often keeps a tight circle and doesn't overshare with others. They're private about who they spend time with, not because they're hiding something, but because they instinctively protect their emotional energy. That privacy is a form of loyalty. Faithful avoidants don't give outsiders too much access to their world because they reserve that closeness for you. They don't juggle multiple connections. They don't have the bandwidth for it. Respecting your independence. One of the most surprising signs of faithfulness is how avoidants treat your independence. Instead of controlling you or trying to restrict your freedom, a loyal avoidant will encourage you to grow, pursue your goals, and spend time with loved ones. Why? Because they value autonomy so deeply themselves, and they understand the importance of respecting yours. This isn't neglect, it's love expressed through trust. They want you to thrive as an individual, because they believe in a partnership built on respect, not surveillance or control. This is a very different kind of loyalty. It's not about holding you tightly out of fear. It's about trusting you enough to let you shine. Showing up when it matters most. Avoidants may not always be emotionally expressive, but watch what they do during your hardest times. When life gets heavy, when you're grieving, struggling, or hurting, notice if they stay. They may not have the right words, but they'll sit with you, fix something you don't have the energy to fix, or quietly make sure you're safe. Their presence in those moments is not small. It's monumental. Remember, their instinct is often to retreat from emotional intensity, so if they stay by your side during your storms, that's one of the strongest proofs of faithfulness you'll ever see. The pattern of withdrawal and return. Another misunderstood behavior of avoidance is their tendency to pull away. They may go quiet, needing time to recharge. But here's the key difference. A faithful avoidant always returns. That pattern, step back, then step forward, isn't a sign of disloyalty. It's how they manage closeness. Their consistent return is proof of their loyalty. It's their way of saying, I might need space, but I'm not leaving you. I'm still here. Growth is their silent love letter. Avoidants resist change because change feels vulnerable. But when they're deeply invested in someone, they'll push against their own fears to grow. Maybe they initiate affection more often. Maybe they open up about their feelings. Or maybe they start engaging in deeper conversations instead of shutting down. These may seem like small steps from the outside, but for an avoidant, they're monumental. That willingness to grow is their love letter to you. It's proof of faithfulness, even if they never say it directly. Trust, the foundation of their loyalty. At the heart of avoidant faithfulness is trust. They rarely give it, but once they do, it's profound. If they've trusted you with their inner world, their boundaries, and their vulnerabilities, it means you're not just another person in their life. You're their chosen partner. A faithful avoidant guards your secrets like their own. They respect your boundaries because they know how much safety matters in love. Once they've chosen you, they don't want to risk losing that trust by being unfaithful. The quiet power of their faithfulness. Faithfulness for avoidance doesn't look like fairy tales. It doesn't look like grand speeches or dramatic gestures. It's steady. It's quiet. It's found in the way they hold your hand when you're anxious, the way they make your favorite meal without being asked, or the way they always circle back, no matter how much space they needed. Their loyalty is not about noise, it's about presence. It's about choosing you again and again, even when their fears whisper that they should run. And if you've earned that kind of loyalty, you're experiencing one of the deepest, rarest forms of love that exists. So if you've ever questioned your avoidant partner's faithfulness, look beyond their words. Watch their patterns. Notice how they stay, how they return, how they let you in when they could just as easily keep the walls up. That is real loyalty. It may not look like the romance you see on screen, but it's steady, genuine, and deeply rare.